Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored's my way of showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities or disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still mount to something no matter what. That labels do not dictate who you are. So that being said, a half hour, 45 minutes of your time. You can call me an asshole for messing up your last name. I had this thing on my phone called text to speech. So,
Okay.
That helps me with the name, but I forgot because while I was talking, I forgot how to say it. But like I said, it's half hour, 45 minutes. Haven't done this in a while because I was re-uploading all my interviews. Half hour, 45 minutes. Say anything you want, do anything you want. So
Cool. I'm ready.
Starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
My name is Joseph Pallotta. I am a senior at SUNY New Paltz. I'm a digital media production major. Um, I like making films with some friends. I'm big into audio. That's about it. I'm kind of lame. I don't know.
No, it's really interesting. So you mentioned your major that you're doing in audiovisual. What?
It's digital media production.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, who influenced you on that? How did you get into the whole thing?
Um, I'd say in middle school and high school, I was big into video games, especially Call of Duty, and I would play with a bunch of people, and I would record myself playing using a capture card, and then I'd upload it to my computer. And I had this program, Sony Vegas, a video editing program, and I started putting some of my clips together, uploading them to YouTube, little montages, and that got me into the whole video aspect, the video editing aspect of it. That's where it started from, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So, what video game system do you have? Do you have PlayStation or Xbox?
This was I don't even have any of the new ones. That was on the 360. Yeah, that was like middle school, high school, like I said. Yeah, I was more of an Xbox. Like growing up, I had a PS2. And then around middle school, my parents got me a 360 for Christmas. That was lit. So got Call of Duty, and yeah, that was that. So shout out my parents for getting me that Xbox.
No, the reason I bring it up is because of the PlayStation 4. It's now you can record what you're playing and share it with people.
Right. Yeah, they have capture cards built in now. It's crazy. It's crazy where we come.
Now, what can you tell us about capture cards? So I never heard of that before.
Um, I had two of them. I had my very first capture card. It was like maybe around $80 back in let's say like 2007, 2008. And basically you would take a USB drive and you'd plug it into the capture card. You'd hook up your video cables to your TV, so it's recording whatever. It doesn't have to be a video game. It could have been the TV, whatever. That information is going to be sent to the USB, and then you take the USB, plug it into your computer, and whatever you recorded is on there. And then after maybe about a year of having that first one, I forget the brand, I stepped it up and I got a HVR, I think it was called HOPOG, or PBR, I believe it was. An HD capture card, recorded in HD, which was cool. Had a little box, had a little remote. Yeah, and so basically it's going to get whatever you want from your TV screen, whatever is being played, and it's going to put it on a little disc or drive, whatever, and you can plug that right into your computer. Or even they have cables that go right into a capture card to the computer. So, little neat invention.
Yeah, that's really cool. The one thing I really liked, but it hasn't came out for PlayStation 3 yet, but I hope it does, or in this case now PlayStation 4, was the fact that what's called Action Replay.
Action replay, yeah. I had one for my my Nintendo, my DS. I had an action replay.
I
Yep.
had one for PSP.
Yeah.
Those
Nice
things
little.
were great.
Oh, they help you out tremendously. In Pokemon, you won 999 Master Balls. You got it. Definitely.
What do you think it hurts the game during it hurts the game, or do you think it helps?
Um, I think if you abuse it, like if you're putting on things to walk through walls, or if like all your guys are like level 99, whatever, then it's just taking the fun out of the game. I think if like maybe you missed an item in the game, or just a little simple thing to help you out, like another revive, just a little help me to keep the game interesting and fun, then that's okay. Just as long as you don't abuse it and make
Right.
all your guys all perfect and not even competitive. That's where I'd say I stand on that.
No, absolutely, I agree with you. I play games where there's cheat codes for infinite health,
Right,
and
right, right.
I would put it on the hardest setting possible. And I don't care if I get my ass kicked. You have to give me any weapons at all, as long as I'm able to put up a fight.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
more fun. I do the whole story, everything. But I know I tried for GameCube actually. Infinite health and weapons, and I got bored after a couple minutes. Like, well,
Right.
why am I playing this then?
Right. Yeah, you can't lose, so it's kind of boring. Yep, totally would agree with that.
But if you do it like infinite health, okay, that's at least you have a fighting chance.
Right, right, right. Agree.
Now going to the question to new polls, I've been interviewing people from Mondo Woodbury, and I'm now starting a new trend because I interview, and I'm gonna pass the show over to you in a couple minutes, and you can ask me anything you want. I
Cool.
interviewed everyone from Mondo Woodbury, from class of 2000 all the way through 2007, 2008, and besides that, I interview actors, actresses, models, CEOs, professional wrestlers. And people
Hmm.
were like, well, do you interview people with disabilities and just people who are handicapped or mentally challenged? No, well, first off, if you think that, then something's wrong with you.
Hmm.
But I interview everyone who wants to have a normal conversation like yourself, who wants to make a new friend,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just, I know, it's a win-win. You're gaining your exposure, you're helping me get my exposure, so it's a
Right, it's
win-win.
definitely a win-win. Yep.
So when I saw, well, I always like new polls. I was like, why not interview everyone who wants the new polls? And I can do, Potsdam, and I can do Plattsburgh, and just do all of it. And the more people I have, the more of a network and the numbers I'm trying to get up. Because you're
Right,
not
right, right.
always going to get actors every single day. You're not going to get professional wrestlers every single day. And most of the time, I was like this because I couldn't get anyone to talk to because I was reaching high. Harvey Specter, life is this, I like it like this.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So people are like, well, you should start from the bottom and reach up. And it's like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to reach up and go back down. So that's why I did everything from, like I said, top names. So, like, you know what? There's other people like you and like myself who deserve to give a chance. I'm want to be known as someone who gives. I'm like Edge, the ultimate opportunist.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
when I see an opportunity, I like to give someone that opportunity.
Cool, cool. Putting people on. I like it. I like it.
Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the show over to you. You can say anything you want, talk about anything you want. This is your time, after all.
Okay. Well, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Um, I guess start off, what are some of your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing on your off days?
All right. Well, starting off, I would say I love my talk show. And it pissed me off that I got up to 300 interviews. And it
Uh-huh.
didn't bother me. I was so excited. It's like, yes, and I can show you afterwards. I bought myself a wrestling belt.
Uh-huh.
And basically, it's looking for them. Actually, I have it right here. Actually, I always got a trophy from Crowns. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep, yep, yep.
And recently, Crowns like we have a new wrestling feature for people who like wrestling belts. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. And I had a choice of creating like small little trophies, like season one. You have a magazine, season two.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Why not have something unique? So I came up with my own belt, and I'm a huge wrestling fan. I would love to work with TNA, WWE, and I had my own logo made in it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to introduce this when I did my 300. But then people, my family was saying, you need to be copyrighted, you need to be trademarked, you need to be licensed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you like to help me? I said, no, if you can't do it yourself, then it's not to be. He's like, okay, thanks for your help, asshole. So I was looking for different lawyers to help me, and I came across a senior advisor, said, there's no reason to be trademarked because that's $2,000. And how are you going to get the $2,000 back? You're not making money off of it, so it's useless. That's one. Two, you don't need any licenses because you're online based, so it's kind of pointless to do anything with a license. But he said, I would highly recommend you getting permission slips. It's like, well, you're already got up to 300, so it's kind of going forward. That's what I'm doing right now, because you should get it. So I was like, and it's uncensored. I was like, fuck it. I took everything down, and I went through every single person, because during that time, one or two people would pop up 6 months later, and I don't mean to bitch to you, I apologize.
No, of course.
Because during that time, it's 6 months later, a year later, it would come up, yeah, and this is how they talk. Yeah, I wanted to help you because I thought it would help me with my career. Or, my agent or my publicist says it's degrading to be with people like you or be around with people like you.
No way.
Or I didn't like some of the questions you asked me. Or I didn't like the video calling. And I'm like, you understand I have a learning disability. Yes. Okay. Two, this is unofficial, that it's just a podcast. It's good publicity for you and me. Yes. And I told you that I'm not holding a gun to your head, but you're doing this under your own free will. Yes.
Right.
Now somehow you have a problem with it.
People are still going to find a way to complain. Of course.
But to make a long story short, I and my dad used to make high school videos, yearbook videos. So I used to, monkey see, monkey do. So I used to take videos from Dumbo, Jungle Book, Spider-Man, and I would make fan-made parodies. What if Spider-Man met Batman? And that's how it all started. Then I went to my high school, joined the audio-visual department. I became the guy who was known as the guy who was the video camera guru to this head. Because I was always walking around with a camera making films.
Yep.
And there's a guy named Mr. Earl who's real nice to me. And even though he had white hair, and I made his hair turn a lot grayer faster. But he really helped me with the whole process. So thanks to him and my dad, but I'm doing this.
Right.
What? I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
Oh, no.
And people said, I can't go to college. So I'm going to be in a group home in Burden. I end up working retail the rest of my life. So I said, screw it. I'm going to show people with a disability I can still amount to something. And, make a long story short, 2013, I did 72 phone interviews. Don't ask me why. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I did 72 phone interviews. From Barbara Goodson, Kerrigan Mayhem, and those people are from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Dragon Ball Z. And these were just a blank screen with audio. And they're like, well, you have this great format. Why aren't you as big or bigger than you portray yourself to be? Why don't you have people helping you? Well, would you like to help me? I said, no, like I said, if you can't do it yourself, it's not meant to be. This one guy said to me, do it over. So going a year later, 2014, I started to do video formats. So I was recording, here's my hands, a camera, and I record everything from the image. That was season 1. Then I got everything from the camera, from the computer screen. So you see a transition. people finally said to me, "Why don't you use Skype Recorder?" So
Right.
now, when you do see my interview, it's got to be cut in half. I'm on the right, you're on the left. It's in HD, higher quality. And it's like,
Yep.
well,
Yep.
why did he do this from the start? Well, 2013, there was no Skype Recorder, as far as I know of.
Hmm.
And there wouldn't be a transition. You wouldn't see me involved over the past 2.5 years, 3 years.
Right. Right.
But
Makes
this
sense.
is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm looking for people to help. If you're interested, you help me, I help you. It's
So,
basically a win-win for both parties.
yep. Yep. I'm in the middle of, I'm actually at my friend's house right now. We're just recording some short skits. It's me and my friends on our off days, what we do. Um, right now we're just calling it the Homies channel, but yeah, look for skits on it, definitely. And we'll let you know what happens with that. Maybe we'll have another show, another sit down.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Your friend's more than welcome to do the interview.
Yeah, yep, I'm sure they would love to. Right now, they're all in the kitchen. They're all playing with the equipment. They're a little busy, but I think next time, yeah, they would love to do it. 100%.
Well, how many people usually work on the show, just so I can get an idea?
It's four of my friends, so five of us in total.
Yeah, that'd be a fun group interview.
Yep, yep, all digital media production majors. Bunch of clowns. Yeah, they're entertaining to say the least.
Well, I do have a couple questions off the air, unless you want me to talk about on the air. It's up to you.
No, go ahead, shoot. Uncensored.
Now, for my talk show, do you think it would be something you guys would be interested in working with me on and helping it get bigger and better? And in return, once I take off, I promise I will pay you back. But do you think it'd
Yeah,
be?
yeah, just other work. We just love working on things. I mean, it's not even really about the money. It's kind of what keeps us going in the off time, what we like doing. I mean, if you need an editor, if you need just anything, someone to help with the lights, we'd love to. Definitely.
Well, I am looking for a studio, so if you have like in an extra room, yeah, I'm looking for a co-host too. So maybe that's a possibility.
Yep, yep. You could even try on campus in like the audio suite or something. Because really, we don't have much of a studio either. We just shoot on location, and we're shooting a sit down on the couch. That's our studio for the day.
Well, how do
So
you?
we're at
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
no problem, no problem.
How do you think I would go about it? Because I've been doing this for a while, I got big names. What would you think? And for people out there who want to follow in my footsteps or your footsteps, what were your steps? How did you get to step one to where you are now?
Just getting my feet wet, just getting involved. I mean, last semester I got involved in a 48-hour film competition, made some great friends. I mean, kids I'm hanging out with right now. Just doing outside of school, just competition. It was a good bonding experience, just good experience with equipment, stuff like that. And that's just led me to other projects and just meeting new people, new contacts. Um, there's an interviewer who I'm a really big fan of, and his name is Nardwar. And if you know Nardwar, you know he's genuine, great person, does his own type of thing. He interviews musicians, but he's definitely got his own style. He shoots on locations. He doesn't have like a specific spot that he does consistently. Uncensored, just like yours. And he just asks very different questions. You'll never see Nardwar ask, "Well, when's your album coming out?" "Oh, well, this single," or something pop culture related. Nardwar is all about surprising the artist with how much he knows about them. He does research into their lives, and he'll come and he'll be like, "Well, remember that time in middle school where you were hanging out at this spot?" And they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? How did you know that? Like, why? I don't even remember that. How do you know that about me?" Type shit. Um, so yeah, he's always, I don't know, I've always loved his interviews. He's just very different. Like, he has his own lane. He's not just like the Breakfast Club or like at 97 just asking the same old questions, just starting drama and then putting it out on Twitter. "Oh, well, Fetty Wap said this about this person." Nah, Nardwar's not about that. So definitely, I would check him out. He definitely made a crazy come up doing his own thing. Yeah, check Nardwar out. Nardwar, the human serviette. Love you.
gonna tell you a funny. Oh, well, on the subject, do you have any funny stories you like to share?
Any funny stories?
I got
Oh,
one for you.
yeah, of course. Go for it. Give me some influence.
I was at work yesterday. Yeah, I won't say where. I can tell you afterwards.
Okay.
I went to the bathroom and I didn't know the toilets were all backed up. And I don't really use public bathrooms unless I really need to go.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I didn't know the toilets were backed up. And so I used the handicap stall.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So this guy came in. I don't know if he was white or black. All I heard footsteps. Um, and the next thing I heard was, "The fuck happened up in here?" And the next thing I know, I was hysterical laughing. I was holding my side. Went to the back. This guy, one of my masters, said, "Yeah, we have to do something about the toilets." Another guy came in. The summer customer just complained. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, but this time the toilet's overflowing and shit's everywhere. It's like, well, that's what happens when you put two pipes together because the men's room and the women's room,
Uh-huh.
for whatever the reason is, they connect and they meet in the middle. So if one backs up, the other one's got to back up.
Yeah, that sounds like a setup just waiting to happen.
What about you?
Oh man, a funny story. Um, Trying to think of an incident. Um, I don't know. You're gonna have to let me sit with it. You're gonna have to come back to me.
The other funny one I have, they're mostly my brother's stories, but it's really funny. His friend got punched in the face while taking a shit. I don't know how this happened, but his friend was in the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
and the apartment he had was on the where the sidewalk is, so anyone in the neighborhood can walk past. And the window didn't have a screen, so he's in there doing whatever, and some random guy decided to walk past the window on his jog, saw him, thought to himself, this would be a pretty funny opportunity. So he walked back to the house, and as the guy was on the toilet like this, he reaches in for the open window that decks him. So he always joked to my brother, "Hey, remember the time your friend was punched in the face while taking a shit?"
That's good, man. Do I have any other questions for you? Who is someone you would love to interview? Who's the number one person? If you had to have one interview with any person.
I would say, well, now or then.
Either or.
I would say probably Marlena Perez.
I like it. A good choice. A solid choice indeed. Why?
Well, she's a beautiful woman. She's a
Given.
legend. And she's a former WWE champion. I
I
have
mean,
actually,
that's the whole package.
yeah, absolutely. I actually interviewed a couple of superstars. Half of them were really nice, and most of them were just assholes. I interviewed C.W. Anderson, Sonny Ono, Vince Russo. I introduced myself on. Actually, I'm gonna plug the website. If people who want celebrities endorsements or recommendations, like I give you a perfect example. There's a website called Celebrity VM, and I'm on there. So you can pay me like $20, and I would say, if today's your birthday, if you're getting married, if you're getting whatever congratulations you want a shout out. There's like Dennis Rodman, Brooke Hogan, older professional wrestlers, actors, people from Clerks, people from Breaking Bad are on there. You send them what you want, you pay like a fee, $20, and most people want $500. It's kind of ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
But they would say whatever you want. Hey, Dennis Rodman, today's my birthday. Can I get a shout out? Or, hey, Marlena Perez, today's my birthday. Could you give me a shout? There's something like that, and I'm on there. just doing a little plug for them. But I introduced myself to Angel Love, to Rosa, to let's see, Bill DeMont, to Christopher Daniels, just anyone you can think of about being a guest on my talk show and sharing my message. And I would love to have these guys on my show.
Right.
Are you a fan of Mortal Kombat versus DC Comics?
I love Mortal Kombat. I've never played that specific one though. I was into like the PlayStation ones, like Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon. Those are the big ones for me. Yeah.
I used to view Richard Epcar.
I love it. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's great.
One of my favorite interview I did, but I had to take it down because he was afraid of being sued. I interviewed was Kyle Herbert. And he did the voice. I asked a couple questions ago. I asked you while wrapping up. Like, where do you stand on marijuana use? Where do you stand on gay rights? I said, instead of doing like everyone else, the same repetition over and over, let's have a little fun. You do a lot of voices for Dragon Ball Z. Could you answer the questions in the voices? Like, say, Gohan on legalizing marijuana or Pycon on politics. And it was the best interview ever. It got tons of hits. But he was afraid of Funimations and whatever the other guy is, copyrights. It's like, what happened to freedom of speech? You own the voice. They don't own the voice. You own the voice.
Right.
But, it's how to take it down.
He's going to do what he's going to do. Yep, I get it. I'd say the other thing, going back to how you could improve the show or just get yourself out there, could also be interning at a place. Just getting more experience, just making new contacts. That's basically everyone in my department. That's, how we get into the business. Just learn what we're doing, just getting a solid intern, getting work, getting paid for it. If you can get an internship with money, it's terrific. That's great. I envy you.
Mike said, you help me, I help you.
Yep, yeah, so an internship I feel like is always a cool option as well.
The only problem with that is because I never went to college, because you can ask me about my disability. I'm pretty much like you. Only I learn at a slower pace, so people would label it as mentally challenged or retarded. So I'm not able to go to college. I give you a perfect example. My brother, who I look up to, one of them anyway, I'm the youngest out of four brothers and one sister. One of them got a BA in broadcasting and media. And I told him I interviewed Jet Jarrett. It was supposed to be like this, but his PR people didn't tell him it was video. I was pissed at that. It's like, I'm not going to argue with you. I had Jet Jarrett on the phone. Fine, I'm going to do an audio interview. Well, it was supposed to be video. But when I told him, hey, guess who I interviewed for my show? And yes, I talk with my hands, force a habit. I got Double J on my show. He says, I don't know what to say to you. Okay, are you happy I got Jet Jer on the show? Or are you, I don't know what to say to you. Later on, he said, you know what pisses me off? That's how he talks. You know what pisses me off? I went to college for 4 years. I bust my ass and got a BA. I'm part of a fraternity, and I can't get a job. But Keith over here, he never went to college, and he's interviewing celebrities left and right. That shit only pisses me off.
You're taking initiative. You're doing the right thing. Getting these people that these other people can't. Exactly. Doesn't matter what's wrong with you, what type of disability. Shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter at all. We all have things wrong with us.
No, absolutely. And I said to him, like Harvey Specter, I came up, like I said, Harvey Specter, life is this and this. I came up with, if you want something to reach high and hit hard.
Yep.
Or what Fester Stallone said, it's not about how hard life hits you. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yep. Yep,
So if you
totally
see,
agree.
I know there's a kind of like a delay, so I'm not interrupting you.
No problem, no problem. That's what happens over these calls. Used to it.
People who are like saying, poor me or poor about this. If you walk around with that type of mentality, and I know my interviews are different. It's different with you because I haven't done my interviews in almost a year
Uh-huh.
because I've been uploading and I've been sidetracked with working in retail and other things. So I'm rusty at it. But every single interview it's different. It's gotta be hard hitting, spontaneous, funny. Sometimes it's serious. Sometimes I use the F word. But it's if you look over at it, if you move the curtain to the side, if you say this kid is handicapped, mentally challenged, but he comes across. I connect with people, and one of my things at my job is like you're supposed to get. Well, okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there. One of the things you're supposed to get people to sign up for credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
and people are, oh, what is your secret? What is this? And I said, I bullshit with people, and I was like, it's like, excuse me, I BS with people
Uh-huh.
because even though you have to be professional, I don't hold myself to say, oh, well, I have a disability now. I'm a professional talk show host, so I think I'm better than you. I don't have that mentality.
Right,
I'm
right.
like you. I put myself on the same level. I treat you how you want to be treated. You give me respect, I give you respect, and that's how you connect with people. That's why after 300 people, if you want to count back my old interviews that I did, 400,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that I give people respect. It's like, well, if you didn't tell me you had a disability, I wouldn't see it. Years of practice. I'm really good at hiding it. Doing
Right, right.
I give you a perfect example. I didn't mean to interrupt. You can go ahead.
No, no, I was just agreeing with you. Definitely, no notice.
Now, if we would go back to, let's see, 2016, 10 years ago when I was a senior in high school, I was shy. I was always the kid in the corner, being by myself. I am socially awkward. Who isn't?
With the video camera on you, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And doing the show back then, I didn't take it seriously. I wanted to, but the school tied their hands. You can't have celebrities come in. You can't have other actors come in because it's a school. So they basically had my hands tied.
Mm-hmm.
So doing this, and for the past 2 years, I'm now willing to walk up to a complete utter stranger, say, hey, my name is Keith Andrew. I very nice to meet you. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But if you compare me now to then, I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or why I'm good at making sales, even though yes, I make deals with people. You're not supposed to do that, but I like negotiating with people. So it's a win-win. I like negotiating, and it's a transition that you're like, I'm not the stereotypical talk show host. I'm not like Bill O'Reilly who's like this and it tells you, I'm going to say spin stops here. Or Bill
I
Maher.
think you're definitely easy to talk to, exactly. So it makes it, for the interviewee, definitely a lot easier.
No, absolutely. And that's what it is. And I give you time to talk. You express yourself. I didn't say dress up, don't use profanity or smoke. You can do whatever you want. Express yourself. You're making a new friend.
Yep,
But
yep.
wrapping up, I'm going to give the show back over to you. You can say anything you want. I appreciate your input. I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course, of course.
Wrapping up, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, I'd say I use Instagram, I use Twitter, I use Facebook. Just my last name, Pallotta, Pallotta. Easiest way to find me. I got my friends. We're making that the podcast slash mini skits, little parodies on a YouTube channel. That's to come. I have a Vimeo channel. Love making videos, of course. Um, I'd say it's the easiest way. I mean, Facebook, Joseph Pallotta, Twitter, Pallotta, whatever. I don't forget what my username is, something like that. That's me. It's the easiest way to get in contact with me.
Now, wrapping up, um, like I said, I haven't done this in a while because I've been pre-uploading everything, so
Uh-huh.
my mind's kind of like trying to backtrack. I'm like a I'm like a Windows computer. I'm slow, but eventually I'm gonna get to the point. But I was gonna say, wrapping up, when I first approached you, what was your honest, and you can say anything you want, what was your honest opinion on me when I first approached you? And now, doing after the interview, what's your honest opinion of me now?
Um, I think I remember our first encounter was after the Film 48 competition, I want to say. I think you might have added me on Facebook or something, or added a few of the people in our Buffer Beast group. And I remember my friend Chad, the director of our film, turned to me and was like, "Oh, do you know who this Keith is?" And we had a mutual friend, Evan Thomas, a good friend of ours. And my first impression, you look very professional. I think you were wearing a suit in whatever picture I saw, and I was like, "Oh, who's this? He doesn't seem like a student. He seems like someone who graduated, possibly. I wasn't really sure. Figured you were into filming or whatever." Um, I'd say after this interview, a little bit more relaxed. You got the nice button up on, of course, but definitely more of as a friend now than just an acquaintance or someone very professional after this sit down of uncensored. So I'd say that's the difference, the only difference.
No, I appreciate now wrapping up their talk show segment. It was a real honor and privilege to have you on the show, and
Again, it was great for you to have me. I loved being here.
I'm looking forward to building more of a friendship with you going into the future.
Yep, 100%. Hopefully you could have us on again, me and my friends, talk about our little skit, our little channel, see where that goes.